Yeah, good boy, good boy. Good Footy Energies. Yeah, good boy, good boy. Good Footy Energies. Yeah, good boy, good boy. Good Footy Energies.
Hello and welcome to the Good Footy Energies Podcast, the place where if you're calling up a talkback radio station, the first thing you always say is, "G'day boys, how are ya?" Even if the host has already answered that question of how they are from the first couple of callers.
Too true.
Have to.
Very true.
Have to.
Absolute truth.
And then it's sort of a bit of a roadblock because they're like, yeah, where we going? What's up, John? Can you, hey boys, how are you?
The old saying, the old roadblock in a funeral car.
Yeah.
They say that.
They do.
They do say that. They do say that. I've actually got a surprise for everyone. I almost forgot about that. All this talk of funeral cars. I got everyone a Biscoff Kit Kat.
Oh, wow.
None for you. None for you, Snake.
I'm trying to think, have they got 4?
I've only got 3.
That's gorgeous.
Nah, I left mine in the car.
Thank you.
Super nice.
Thank you for that.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I also want to let you guys know that this will be my last episode because I can't stand a lot of you.
But you know what? It makes it easy to take that you brought a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
0.5 health rating.
I brought some hot chips to the boys yesterday. Didn't do it on camera, but still did it.
It's fine that mine wasn't movie quality.
Thanks for the Kit Kat there, Skits Ruben.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Skits Lane.
You're welcome. That's with an S, by the way.
For those tuning in for the first time, I'm Brad Hollis. With me is Ruben Motes and DJ Clarky Jesus.
DJ.
It's actually GJ, sorry, Brad. You said that a few weeks ago, and I've actually adopted that term. I'm
GJ.
done with DJ.
He's a GJ.
I'm taking GJ into the
GJ.
weekend every weekend.
Well, speaking of our funeral cars,
Yeah.
I was at and talkback. Maybe that was set up. I'm not sure.
Natural.
Absolutely natural.
I rung into Josh Garlett, friend of the pod. He had a talk. In his episode. He's got a podcast. They had a talkback segment, and I rung up, and we'll play some of it now.
Yeah, let's listen.
Play it, man.
Full credits, true talkback. Hello, full credit hotline. Who's this?
This is Jason.
Jason, where are you from?
I'm from Melbourne.
Jason, how you going?
Yeah, not bad. I just called up, get some advice. Hope you boys are doing well. I've recently bought a used car, and it's actually, it was a couple of months ago. It's actually an old funeral car.
Oh, a hearse.
Yeah, and so it obviously was used for funerals, but some of my family and friends, they don't really want to ride in it because they sort of think that's a bit weird, and my dad actually thinks that it's a bit disrespectful.
Okay, sure.
So I just want to get your advice of, well, should I keep the car? Or because my girlfriend won't ride in it, which is causing a bit of problems. So I'm trying to get her to look at the positives. Like, if we go on a road trip, you could put some quilts in the back, because obviously it's extended out. She could lay down while I drive through the night. Things like that.
But so with a hearse, though, it's just a panel van with windows, right?
Yeah, essentially.
So
It's a bit longer than your standard.
Would you have your passengers lie down in the back or just on the seats?
Oh, that's up to them, really. I'm happy if they want to lie down, if they've had a long day. That's what I'm saying. That's why. That's half the reason I bought.
Okay, I'm going to come down pretty hard on this chick. I think you give her an ultimatum. It's either her or the hearse.
So you reckon put it on the line and say, look, this car means a lot to me. If you're not willing to, meet me halfway, then maybe she's not the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, because those things can be really hurtful.
Thanks, guys.
True talkback, who's this?
Tilsy.
Cool.
That was amazing.
That was incredible.
Yeah, that came out better than I hadn't heard that back up. See, dude, when I was doing that, you couldn't really tell. There's a few times I was quite nervous.
I could tell you were nervous, yeah.
Yeah, and not really nervous, but my body was nervous. And so a few times I just as I got to the end of the sentence, I actually had to stop, not for comedic effect, because I had no air in my body.
Right.
And I was like about to go, I was finished.
Sounds like a bit of anxiety, mate.
That's what it sounds like. Thick anxiety white.
Classic case.
I thrive on pressure. But, so yeah, that was. I just wanted to.
Hey, I just had the Kit Kat, by the way, while we were
listening.
getting to that. That was out of this world.
Great.
They are insane. I just want to quickly touch up on that bit that you did, obviously, for the talk back with Joshy Garlop. That's actually not a bad idea. Buying a used hearse as like your car. Yep. That is a huge shit. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, what could that be good for? Going coastal, blankets in the back.
Quilts, man.
Dude, quilts, dude. Actual,
You see that all over people living in the van and romanticising that.
Yeah.
That could be the way to be different.
Actually, recently, there's a guy where I park my car. I noticed he's got a couple of quilts in the back. And then I was like, oh, but this guy's just like homeless. Like... So that's one thing to be wary about if you got the hearse.
Keep the old funeral directors advertising on the side. And they actually think you're a funeral guy.
Yeah,
He's just like knocked off. He's like, he's still got the coffee.
They freak out every morning when you wake up. It's just a dead body in the back.
Dude, I don't know if I had, obviously Arrested Development, where it's like, you're going to get a couple of harp-ons because they got the thing.
The Korean,
it's like
the Korean church.
The Korean church. That's a good one as well.
Watch out for bridges and hop-ons. You're going to get some hop-ons.
It could be like everyone always forms a line behind you, like they're following. They're like, we're not in the funeral.
they got their lights on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's get straight into some footy talk.
That's it, baby.
Oh, this will be good though.
Welcome to Coffee Talk. All right, got a bit of a run sheet here. We also got Gocsy coming on pretty shortly, just to talk about. He went to the Saints Brisbane game on the weekend.
That's his game too.
That is his game, is the Saints, man. So we'll just see. I want to know what the experience was like. I think he had kicked the footy after the game as well.
He also ran into the guy from the viral video a few years ago that asked for a bite of the guy's Maxi Bond.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how he was in the flesh.
Oh, that is the collab that no one asked for but absolutely needed.
Well, Port Adelaide played Richmond Thursday night, and I have some audio that I wanted to play. Put out the feelers if anyone could get me 5, because I was listening to it on 5AA. Because as we've talked about before on the podcast, you got Timmy Ginniver, ex-Port captain. Yeah, I want to talk about this because
it's the North Korea of broadcasting.
Yeah, it's like this is fairly rare because, like, obviously a few years ago, Eddie Maguire brought in. They had that press red for Ed, and it's in like a real Collingwood heavy commentary box, taking it from the American system where they must each commentary box must be like quite team based.
Yep.
Except for that Ed one, I feel like it was like when it was clicked, it was a bit not overdone, but it was like very over. They're like whatever. But this one, this 5AA, which is an Adelaide station for an Adelaide team, it's like that, but it's a lot more subtle.
Yeah,
it's not over. It's actually better because it's like I think that one of them was a neutral. The guy hosting.
I think the main thing is they're masquerading as being neutral when really what they've done is just plump like 4 Port captains in a box together.
Yep. So it oozes out no matter what line you've got.
Can't keep the tiger in the cage.
Yeah, but I don't think they're even hiding it. Which I know I was like, does because I don't think you could really have that in Victoria because there's so many teams. Whereas when it's Adelaide, I was wondering if WA have something similar.
Well, I saw a tweet during the week from Tim Gossage, who you might remember, he was the boundary rider.
Was he commentating on the 5AA with Tim Ginniver?
Every possibility. I didn't listen, but I know he's based over in Perth, and he put up a tweet during the week saying, basically he was hoping that the media would lay off West Coast and get more stuck into North Melbourne and Bailey Smith and all the other issues.
Yep.
I haven't heard anyone get stuck into West Coast at all. So I think there's obviously that parochialism over there as well. And one-eyedness.
All right. I want to play. So this is Hamish Hartley was actually on the call.
Oh, nice. That's my guy.
Well.
Hammer.
And for that game, Port, that was as a Port fan, the umpiring wasn't the best in that game, and Jimmy Ginniver knew about it.
It's a big surprise that Tim Ginniver wasn't happy with the umpiring.
I feel like Port might have even been on the pipe bridge as well because this game, this is it. Basically
too early.
Because you're playing Richmond, it's an 8-point game. You've already had one against Geelong for the 8-point game. Yeah. It's like you really kind of, you could just feel, that's what I'm saying. You could feel that Port, you could feel like, okay, we need to win this. And it's like, it wasn't as dramatic as some games where Port have been like out of the flow, umpires against us, yada, yada. But it was just more subtly there. And you look at the end when bloody Jonas and Butters hit heads. I mean, that's just symbolically, he's right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Tim Ginniver, who I like as a commentator though, because he sort of commentates, then he gets up and about. And I got one of Kane Farrell's goal, which I wanted to play. Shout out to Clarkie's dad. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, just shout out to my dad.
Yeah, he has a program where he can...
Hey, whoa, don't give away all the secrets.
Probably not that part.
That's the best part.
He can get you. He can get you movies before they're in the cinema. So I'll say.
Dude, it's electric in here tonight.
Shout out to Clarkie's dad who got us the audio. Bloody magician.
Yep,
magician.
So this is just play the audio.
Issue there with Timon.
Western Hospital injury report. They'll have to keep an eye on that. We got a 50. Somebody's run past the mark. So
sounds like
Kane Farrell. Just wait. You might get within range, mate. He's coming right up towards the 50-metre arc.
Run on.
That's a massive hit. So he comes at the 50. Kane Farrell goes to goal. It's on. It's powerful. It's through the middle. Kane Farrell kicks a brilliant goal. Port Adelaide back within 1 point. Yes, they are. That is got to be the Beechwood Homes goal of the day contender.
Well, a couple of things from mine.
Contender.
I don't know what the 50 was for.
Didn't see it.
I've got no idea. I think it was for
taking it though.
I think it was for running into this bloody protected zone or whatever it is, but I couldn't see Richmond playing. So anyway, regardless of that, the Tigers players must know that Kane Farrell's got one of the best kicks in the Port Adelaide
manning up,
team.
Wasn't it? Manning up.
There was no one on the mark the whole time.
Dude.
Let's have a look at what the 50 was for. We went over the mark.
It's Ralph Smith just wandering past.
Ralph Smith.
Yeah.
Again, not going to influence the play whatsoever.
Just before we say anything, can I just say, shout out Hammer Hartlett. Keep that guy on 5AA, 100%. That's hilarious.
Might be getting him on here at some point.
Oh, there we go. I was going to swear, but I didn't.
I want to get him on to talk about commentary because, we did a little watch-along for the Queen's birthday game yesterday.
That we did. And in fact, I'm wearing the exact same clothes I did yesterday. That's how real I'm keeping it.
It was MND round in that, so.
Yep. And actually, we might get Hartlett in for a watch-along one day. That'd be kind of cool. But I want to tell him about, because I made up, we're talking about 24-hour bakery off air yesterday, and
that we were Nutella Hearts.
I made up a little, I haven't flushed it out yet, but you know how like Dennis Committee always has like, he synced the slipper, or he'd send him, he comes up with those quips.
Yeah.
Everyone got on, it's like a Melbourne tram, everyone got on, nothing got paid.
Yeah. Yep. I've come up with one yesterday, and it was like something to do with like, say if a player maybe hasn't done much for the game, was not getting used. He's like, he's about as useful as a locksmith at a 24-hour bakery.
I think that's in the workshop stage.
Yeah. You get it.
I like it.
24-hour bakery. They never lock on the door.
It's always open.
It's never locked ever.
About as useful as a lock on a 24-hour bakery door.
Oh, I see what Most did there. He took what you said, made it a little bit better.
And that's why he's the refiner. I said in my tweets one time.
One time I did that. That was good.
I like that Moses has done homework on your tweets.
So yeah, Hamish actually, because of the umpiring, I remember one umpire gave away a free in the goal square to Richmond and kicked the goal, and then Hartlett made a comment like, "Yeah, I remember that umpire." Like he knew. Dude. Like that umpire must not like poor man. Hammer never forgets.
Hammer never forgets.
And Tim Jim was like, oh. Anyway. Before we move on to the next game, we missed this thing last week on the run sheet. It's about tossing the coin. I'd love to toss the coin one day at any game, really. Put this out to the world. And I was like, well, I don't know really, how do you do that? Because are they like booked up early? You know, usually, I mean, it's usually underprivileged or some sort of charity potentially.
I would say it's either overprivileged or underprivileged.
Yeah, there's no middle ground.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a great call.
I was thinking, what do I have to do to get there? Like, do I have to, sign up to the Army Reserves? Is that my way in? That's the pathway.
They'll pay your way through uni, mate. Yeah. Get paid while you study.
Army Reserves, that's get your foot in the door. Go, you serve?
Yeah.
Did I serve?
The front lines of Marion.
Man, did I stutter?
Yeah.
Of course I served.
So obviously Anzac Day is your big get there, but you could probably back end of the year slide your foot in the door and go, I'm Army Reserve.
I feel like it's not just on Anzac Day that like someone in the army is tossing the coin. I feel like you see it like in late August. You know, right near the end of the season, there's random soldiers up there flipping a coin. You're just gonna fill your cup up.
Sorry, I realised that.
Can we get some ASMR? Can we get some microphone to that?
That's real ASMR right there.
He's gone from
that was
plastic water bottle into
point.
a plastic cup of a similar diameter. Interesting.
I've gone from Adidas, not a sponsor, to Bunnings Trade. Kind of a sponsor.
Using of the Bunnings Trade. Check.
But war never sleeps, mate. But
the coin certainly does.
All right, so look at these games. Yeah, the Essendon Carlton on Friday night. That was good. The Essendon 150. And they had a bit of stuff before the game, bit of carry on. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it was absolute carry on.
I love the. There was one shot of James Hird. He's the part he did because they had him all in different spots of the ground. James Hird was walking out of the race onto the ground. There was like smoke there, and I did see an AFL meme was like had that in one shot, and then Randy Orton doing that face of like. He's coming out, but like I almost need Jesus to make a video version of him walking out to like music, and then it cuts to Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I just need to see that. I don't even need it to be posted.
Oh my! Uh-oh. Randy Orton looks as if he's seen a ghost. What the hell's going on? Oh my God! The dead has risen. What the hell is going on?
I feel like I can already see it in my mind's eye.
I feel like James Hird is the only one they needed. Like it's just like the unveiling, or like he's back.
That's true.
And then
that would have been stronger. It's just James Hird.
Only because I didn't catch any of this. Let me make sure I got this correct. So what? Essendon turned 150 years, right? And they still lost to Carlton on a Friday night. Yep. Like, are you actually kidding me?
Yeah.
What more does the club need to do? All right? They are banned. Dude, Essendon banned.
Yeah, they're banned.
Forget about them.
Dylan Shield player, right?
Yeah, well, you're playing good now. Oh, man, I'm actually like that sick of them. Your team is good. Pull your finger out your ass. Win some games.
Bruh.
Last quarter was like 24 minutes, I think, because no one kicked a goal because Essendon were coming to come back, but Carlton just had a steel wall, clearly. And
that is a quick quarter.
Yeah.
You able to do some research during the week, or anyone listening? That's probably a better idea. If they could chuck us in, what is the quickest quarter ever? I reckon someone would have beaten 24. Imagine a quarter was like 20 minutes, 1 second. It's like no stoppage.
That'd be paradise.
Oh, that
game would be over way quicker.
That would be living.
And then, yes, onto the Hawthorn Fremantle game.
Yeah, so I watched a bit of that. Hawthorn are extremely well coached and definitely playing for Sam Mitchell at the moment. I would like there to be an even split between like AFL reporters reporting on positive and negative things. Like I'd love to hear about how good the vibe is at Hawthorn right now, or how good it is at we'll get to Collingwood later, but just two clubs that really seem to be playing for their coach at the moment. It'd be really good to have a focus on that and sort of maybe learn what they're doing there rather than just sort of punching down to the people that aren't going so well.
Great call, mates.
Yep. Yeah, Hawthorn, they probably can't keep it up for the full game, whatever style they're trying to play, because they're playing quite positive. But great signs to see where that's actually, when they do start to can round out a whole game, because there was some that at some point in like the first half of that game was probably better than the second, because Hawthorn were able to keep that pressure up for the first half especially. And Buckley that was commentating, there's a couple times where, and I love when this happens, and the commentators is kind of like, it's a really good game. It's a good contest. Like it's a good contest. And you're watching like it is a good contest. Like it's a solid game. This is what footy is about, because you wouldn't necessarily think that on paper. But actually Hawthorn have been not too bad this year.
I thought so. I thought this week, in general, I thought there was some great matchups. Everyone was very evenly, I guess, like balanced.
Fife and Sicily.
Oh, they going at each other?
A little bit. Well, Sicily's just classic.
I don't mind that.
And then like Fife got a goal and Sicily almost stopped. It wasn't his man, but he almost stopped it, and you could just tell he's like so upset that moment he's got a goal. Yeah. So that's theatre, mate.
He is theatre. Sicily always
box office.
He gives me real puck, Midsummer Night's Dream vibes.
What's the Jiath from Hawthorn?
Yeah, Jiath, your man. He had a good game on the weekend, Brad. You learnt something pretty interesting about him.
Yeah, I don't know where I read it on the weekend. He just played that third video on the thing. He learned English from watching Futurama and The Simpsons growing up. And I'm like, that's such a great way to shape your personality.
That is
English
I couldn't think of a better way to learn a language.
Yeah.
Coming from overseas and living in Australia in the early 2000s and just being a Simpsons buff, just barriers broken down straight away.
Dude, that's funny because it's like that tweet from ages ago, like the foreign exchange student, and he only knows like one-liners from like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So I imagine Jiath, he comes over here and he only knows English of like Futurama quotes, but that gets him by. It gets him by because we all love it.
I would have been best friends with him. Like, all I did when I was a kid was quote The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't say anything more than
I'm
that.
just imagining like in class, like year 5 algebra maybe, and they're like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "Hello, Lila."
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Nice. That one. Nice.
She's built like a steakhouse, but sounds like a bistro.
All right. Probably get Gocsy on the line now.
Oh,
Go
shit.
The Saints game.
First we were. You got mail.
You're listening to the Good Footy Energies Podcast. This should make you feel good. Get that good footy feeling.
All right, joining us now actually via Zoom is big man Aaron Gocs.
Gocsy!
Hey guys, thanks for having me. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, Gocsy.
Very well, thank you.
How is it up there in Brisbane? Tropical?
Oh, it's beautiful this time of year. It's almost have to wear a jumper, but not quite.
Flex.
Love that weather. Well, Gocsy, we got you on and want to talk about the Saints-Lions game because you're firsthand, you were up there. You're obviously a big Saints man, so, well, I guess just get into it. What was the vibe like up there at the ground?
Yeah, well, I'll just talk about my experience personally because it had been a few years, actually, since I've been to an AFL game.
Was that a conscious choice, or I guess?
No, just a few things in life going on. It's made it a bit difficult, but so going along again, it was really exciting for me personally. It's almost like, even though I've been to many games over the years, when you don't go for a few years, it's kind of starting again. So it was exciting, And then there's a bit of buzz in Brisbane for the Lions. They're up and about too. Well, they have been for a few years now, but I think the expectations now,
We used to have it a segment because Reece Matheson, beast mode, he used to text Lepage before the game trying to get him up and about, send him a little text message.
Up and about.
So no surprise the Lions are up and about.
Yeah, exactly. Gocsy, I saw something on your Facebook page, mate. I saw that you ran into some internet royalty at the game. A guy that's partial to a KFC snack box. What was that like?
Yeah, he contacted me. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to reveal how the magic works.
Reveal.
Maxibon.
A little peek behind how the industry works.
Oh, mate, we love peeks behind the industry.
We're seeing how the sausage is made right now, Gocsy. That's why you're on.
I got a secret as well, but I'll tell that later.
Yeah. I don't want to piss off anyone on the circuit. I don't know if there's you remember that show that used to be on telly years ago, like Magician Secrets? when you post a pic with someone, people like to think of the magic. Like, they just run into each other. But
well, mate, we were doing it just before you got on, Moats. The gleam in Moats' eye when he said, Gocsy just ran into the Maxi Bond guy.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
I actually want to play the Maxi Bond clip.
No, I'm in suspense about this Maxi Bond thing. This is I do not know what this Maxi Bond guy is.
Yeah, I think Brad's got a video here, Brad. We've got to play it.
I also don't know it. So.
I'm sitting here. Oh, no, mate, how you going? How you going? What you got there? Oh, a bit of bucket. You want some? Oh, yeah, I might
have
some. Nice. What do you got there? Just can I have a bite of your Maxi Bond?
Gocsy, I gotta ask the question. I gotta ask.
That's pretty funny.
Did he have a Maxi Bond on him at the game?
No, I didn't see a Maxi Bond on him.
Just to switch gears.
Well, I went to the Maxi Bond factory a few years ago for a skit thing, and I think I'm all right now, but I had so many that day that I was a bit Maxi Bond out. I actually had a Maxi Bond overdose, so you know.
Gocsy, just to switch gears back into some footy, what do you think of the Saints' effort the other night? You would have been reasonably happy with the effort on a road game up in Brisbane?
Yeah, they did. They were playing pretty well. I was right behind the goals, so saw some nice Max King action. He's a beauty. And Higgins did a bit of aerial work too. Unfortunately, his kicking for goal left a bit to be desired. But I was
he's all right.
I was yelling like, "You got to get something for that," you know. Like, there's like two, you know. Like, I know people hate behinds, but this is my theory. I don't know, but you got to get something, don't you? Like you don't like behinds, but one's better than zero,
That's
right?
true,
But he had
Gocsy.
like 2 marks in the 50. I think it was towards the end of the second quarter, and we got nothing for it, you know. And they had Joe Danaher back. I swear, like I know every fan thinks they're like unlucky or hard done by, but I swear it feels like we always have like a star coming back to the opposition. You know?
Yep.
But he was and you got the traditional Danaher show, didn't you? Like, you know, missing easy ones and then doing ridiculous
all the hard
stuff.
ones.
Yep.
When he missed the easy one earlier, I was like, yeah, he's gonna do something on the run from 70 out or something.
So, yeah, when he missed that easy one, everyone in the crowd was, all the Saints fans were like cheering, and Gocsy's like, just settle down because I can already, you know, watch.
You know what's coming.
Yeah.
Watch out.
He's sensing.
Don't let him near the boundary line.
Yeah. Well, you know, like being at the game, there's all these little things you don't get on telly. Oh, I know like some of the channels have their little graphics for the players, but like the Lions, when they kicked a goal, they had these like cute little clips of the players, you know, like Danaher one is so funny, like pops his head out from behind the corner. You know how Danaher is, you know, he's just
He's always popping his head from around the corner.
Playful.
He's cheeky.
yeah, such a Danaher thing to pop your head out, you know. Like,
So you're having a kick,
But,
kick on the oval after the game as well. Did you get hit in the head with a footy?
oh yeah, I didn't get hit, but it's just constantly. Because there's so many people, you know, it's just constantly watching from all different directions, like for balls coming and people running into you. And
are you the sort of man that runs straight down to the goals, Gocsy, or do you just try and have a kick on the wing?
yeah, well, I didn't have my own ball, so I was just looking for any loose ball coming to just. But at the same time, if it's a kid, you don't want to like boot their ball away and be this like, you know. And but yeah, there's a few guys out there who knew me and that too, so we're like.
So
but to sort of play a bit with them and stuff, yeah.
So what sort of demographic do you target for the ball stealing, Gocsy?
Oh, you know, 20 to 40-year-old male sort of thing.
So our podcast demographic, that's great. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, pretty much. Let that be a warning. If you see me at a game with the kick to kick, I'll be coming for your ball.
A warning or an invite? Let's get Gocsy over for a kick.
Yeah, that's a great shout.
Oh, I was surprised they did it, actually. I wasn't sure if because some grounds do and some don't, I think.
Yeah, the groundskeeper at the Gabba is notoriously protective of his centre square as well. So that's that might not be something that's that common.
I went to the Saints bus. I got there a bit late, so I think most of them are on the bus already. But trying to like just say good day to see if any of them knew me, because I went down to the club there a few years ago, Moorabbin. But
are you talking about
I got there a bit
players
late,
bus?
but then
You talking about players bus or fans?
Players bus.
Yeah, because they just walked out onto the street to get on the bus. There was
just walk up.
Well, there was security there. They put this little temporary divider up so you couldn't like access them. But anyway, like you could go right up to where they were walking past.
Yep.
But by the time I got there, most of them were on. But then Paddy Ryder came out, and I put my hand out to shake his hand, and his right hand must have been sore from the game, so he shakes my hand with his left hand.
Classic.
Yeah, it was like it's one of those. It's like it was an awkward shake, but it was still pretty cool. It's like, oh, Paddy Ryder, like legend of the AFL.
I'll take that.
He's coming with the old left hand, right hand.
I just love the idea of like Gocsy sort of just popping his head on the bus and like Gocsy.
Yeah.
Game fellas.
Brad, before you go on, you said you had a secret at the start of this broadcast.
Yeah, just those shows like like you see on TV, like How You Paying Attention or any of those. Andy Lee hosts one as well, and I always used to think, seeing like comedians go on, and they'd always answer really quickly with all these like funny quips, and I'm sitting there going, on the spot, like they're coming up with this gold. I'm like, I could maybe somehow do it, but probably not. But then I found out the inside secret is they get sent all the questions like the day or night before, so they get to prepare and write their jokes, and then they come out firing. I mean, there's a little bit of improv and whatever you call it, but they're way more prepared than just Andy Lee says something and you got to think of something really funny. You thought of it the night before, son.
And they've got the edit as well.
Yeah, and they've got the edit. I mean, there's still skill involved, but it's not.
I'm trying to find it. Where's the skill?
There's no skill
you got to
involved.
still write the joke.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Get Moats to do that.
Have you ever been on one of those shows like that, Gocsy?
No, I haven't, but I have heard a little bit about what goes on. It is a little. Yeah.
When you think about it, it's not even really. It's kind of obvious.
It's not really, and it's not even funny anymore once you know that they've had a day to prepare it.
I know.
And like, how is this your secret, Brad? How did that?
You got
this information.
You got this secret from the same guy that linked up Gocsy and the Maxi Bond Guy, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Well,
same manager as Gocsy.
Well, do you think that the famous Brett Kirk thing that a lot of people love?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm really intrigued by that. I reckon you could, there could be like a Netflix doco about you could have like sort of like the Michael Jordan Last Dance, but it could be all these people like, different angles where they're sitting in a mansion, like talking about the lead in, and because it'd be like all these people would have had to green light it or something,
Yeah, well, our friend Josh Garlip, who has a podcast as well, he sort of did a little bit of that digging, and it had to be green lit. And the producers, they ticked it off. They sent him out there, and it wasn't live.
No,
wasn't live.
Wasn't.
Yeah, just on that. Also, I was wondering with the they had the COVID, and they had to have the fake crowd noises because there wasn't any crowds, obviously. I have a sneaky feeling, this may be completely wrong. I'm wondering if they're sneakily still using them.
Still using the fake crowd noise?
Just to boost it up a little bit. That's my question. I'm going, are you fucking with
that? That's a great shout. Gocsy, what do you think about that?
The numbers aren't too bad. I don't think they need to do it really. I
just want someone to look into it.
Your Fox Footy guy.
Yeah.
That's all. Just a light probe. I'm not even, just a light.
Yeah.
Next time we speak to you, Gocsy, we'll have an answer for you, mate.
Yeah, I know. This is turning it. We're going to be like, all these revealing secrets. We're going to have people after us.
Conspiratorial podcast.
I feel like I'm gonna probably pass away in a tragic hang gliding accident.
Yeah,
that can be.
Yeah, horse heads on the bed sort of thing, mafia.
I like how the North GWS game, they were all like, it's going to be the lowest crowd ever. They were bloody reverse psychologying everyone, man.
Big jinx.
They had more to that game than they did to the Melbourne game.
Yeah.
What?
North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. You meant Queen's birthday.
You know what I reckon? You know what might have helped that a bit? It might be a few Giants fans from the grand final who never left. They just decide to live in Melbourne.
I like that. Since 2019, they're still there.
Yeah.
That was the same year. That was the same year Dusty left his car at the Oval all summer, right? So
they maybe camped out in that.
Yeah. Maybe those same fans, they were just trying to outdo him.
You know that town Nimbin?
Of course. Come on, Gocsy.
Yeah. The story of that is they had this festival there years ago, the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
And a bunch of hippies just said, I'm not leaving. I'm going to live here. So that's what I reckon happened with a big chunk of the crowd for the Giants game is just Giants that never left.
I'd like to do that now, Gocsy. You just don't leave this podcast and you just stay with us for the rest of the existence.
Actually,
exactly.
What I'd prefer is to go to a game at the G, specifically with Gocsy, and just see how long it takes before they kick us out. Like, how long can you stay at the G for before you get the boot?
I've got the boot once at the Oval.
That is the interesting thing, those little kind of unwritten rules of like giving the ball back, right? Because like some sports, there's you never heard anyone talk about it until it came up for the Buddy Franklin goal, right? Like because the guy tried to keep it or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% keeping a ball if I ever catch
one. Oh yeah.
My dad once was driving. This is like SANFL. He was just driving past the ground, and the ball must have gone over the fence, rolled pretty much to his car. He stopped, opened the door, picked it up. I like to think it just rolled straight in. I like to think it rolled straight in.
He opened the door and it bounced in.
And then like just drives away. The door shuts itself.
But see, those lower levels, they're not as loaded as the AFL. I feel too bad. You know? Like AFL is like, oh, come on,
true.
Ball, you know.
Nah, beggars can't be choosers, Gocsy. You get what's given to you.
Yeah. If it bounces near the car, that's your ball.
That's your ball.
Destiny. So just before we leave, I've written down here, I meant to say Queen's birthday in the run sheet. Queen's birthday, Mason Cox. Sorry, Big Coxy. But I accidentally wrote Big Gocsy. Queen's birthday. So I guess I'll include you in this segment of who would you go down the slide as, dressed up as if you went down the... well, actually, I want to put this open to the panel as well. I chose Howard Moon, Jazz Maverick.
That's a good choice.
Who do you go? I'll give you a bit of time to think, Gocsy, while we'll go around.
Oh, okay.
We'll go around the...
I did not prepare anything.
You did? You said on the group chat.
I said John the Baptist, which is the same character I'd go to every dress-up party as.
Yeah, Rubes is gay. He basically dresses as Jesus to every fancy dress party. And then when people ask him why he's dressed as Jesus, he goes, well, I'm not Jesus, I'm John the Baptist.
Most underrated biblical character of all time.
I reckon I'd probably go like the guy from Breaking Bad, like
Walter White?
Walter White, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Because it's like a little bit inappropriate.
Yeah.
But probably not.
It's a little bit methy.
Just in like the yellow
jumpsuit.
thing.
Yeah.
I'd go the
bald
whites.
head.
Yeah. I'd go the whites.
I think I'd go down as Jamie Oliver.
Oh, wow, that's good.
The naked chef.
The naked chef, though. Got to go down naked.
Yeah.
Got to go down naked. Batter up, Gocsy. What are you thinking?
Oh, it's hard to go past the Simpsons, isn't it? Maybe like Homer or Bart or something.
I'd love to see Gocsy as Bart Simpson.
Would you go full yellow as well, Gocsy?
Oh yeah, and 4 fingers. I'll cut off a finger. You know.
I've heard your Marge Simpson, and I've heard your Marge Simpson, and it's pretty good. Can you give us a little whirl of that?
Homer. Bloody hell, Homer.
Perfect.
It's a good house on the boys.
That was bang on. Can we get an applause for Gocsy just there? We can't.
Gocsy, but actually, while we still have you, can we get a stinger from you, please? Can we get a hi? This is Aaron Gocsy Gocs. You're listening to the
Hi, this is Aaron Gocsy Gocs. You're listening to Good Footy Energies.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Gocsy. Pleasure. Good seeing you, Gocsy.
See you, man.
Anytime. Thanks,
Legend.
Stretching on beyond the human imagination. Desolation of the soul. Oh my God! Ice flow, nowhere to go. Ice flow, nowhere to go. Lost in the blinding whiteness of the tundra. Check him out. They call him the True. Arms in short, then with the claw. Little Johnny Frostbite moving around.
Yeah, finishing off the round, obviously GWS North. I like GWS. The tsunami is back.
Dude. And like not even... Oh, no.
Cog's off the leash as well.
Yep. He's putting... Yeah, caretaker coaches, they usually just come in and free the team up and just kind of what GWS needed.
Oh, it's like having a relief teacher for term 4.
Oh, yeah. It's
like your teacher's going like sailing or something for the last term and you're in like year 6.
Yeah.
So like there is nothing happening.
You ever notice they either go away somewhere on holiday or they get mysteriously very sick? Like very sick. It's like, oh, teacher's not going to be here for 6 weeks, guys. Like they're really sick.
Well, English teacher gets pregnant, but...
Yeah, that's right. And the other guy was sick.
That's right. He was sick. But I also feel that the psychology and the energy around a caretaker, they're way less like attached to the whole outcome and less like way less.
Oh, it's a free hit.
Yeah. So in Buddhism, someone, I think this was from the Crows Mind Camp training on their website.
Where they came up with this Buddhist theory.
Yeah, but so the guy was summing up Buddhism in one word, and he was like, "It's all about don't cling." So because the Buddha says, you know,
but he wasn't attached to the format.
It says
it's just attached to the mantra.
Yeah.
So I think there's a classic Buddhism. It's like don't have desire or whatever, but it's like you don't want to get rid of desire, but you just don't want to cling to it. So you want to help, and that's the caretaker to a T. Of course he wants to win. He's making moves. He's putting cogs out there.
mate.
But is he clinging like a psycho full level coach who his whole life is invested? No. So he's right there, smack bang where you want to be, son.
It's the ideal caretaker situation as well.
Yeah.
You've got GWS. No one knows where the fuck they train. Like you brought in James Hurd, you brought in Dean Solomon, you got your old Essendon mates.
You got your old crew.
AKA
the boys are
the old
back.
guard. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lordy was out there teaching him how to kick goals. Like
I'd get him.
It is just absolute free hit. No one knows where you train. No one's watching you.
He's bringing in the boys from his old country team, the Peatling, and he's kicking 3 goals a game.
Guess what? You've got Josh Kelly, Toby Green, and like 10 other first round.
And by the way, did I mention you have like 20 first round?
Oh yeah, almost forgot.
You're already like 3 of them, and you got like 12.
That would be the job, I think, that if you were a coach looking to come in, that'd be top of your shop.
Oh,
absolutely.
Clarko, I'd be teeing that up.
Dude, forget about Clarko.
To me, or whoever, to me, that's the team that could go premiership as quick from a new coach turning around. But I guess the key is, because caretakers have done that in the past, like a lot of people recently got taken on as caretakers, but when they actually got the job, it didn't go as well. David Teague, and it was actually a long list. So it's like, I feel like the secret's right there. You need to somehow keep that same level of not clinging while you're in the job. Now, that's hard for a number of reasons. A, it's just nature. And B, you might have all these like execs and like finance people saying, you got to win, blah, blah, blah. But you need to turn to them and say, by me letting go of caring, I'm actually probably going to win more.
Yeah.
It's
You try telling
not
that
a
to
natural
the spreadsheets upstairs.
Yeah, it's not a what's that thing? It's a counter.
It's an intangible,
counterintuitive thing. You need to actually get the really good flow. You actually need to
do less,
let go, which is not the classic how it's set up at the moment.
I mean, caretaker coaches, I can only think of off the top of my head, Paul Roos was a caretaker. I think he ended up ultimately winning the premiership at Sydney. Neil Craig was one at the Crows. They were pretty good, sort of 05, 06 era after he took over from Gary Ayres. They were pretty good. They were good enough to win a premiership, but never did. Couldn't get past West Coast. I can't.
Yep.
Can you think of an example of an AFL coach that has been a caretaker that has come out and won a premiership after? Because I can't.
Did you say Paul Roos did or did?
Paul Roos did, yeah.
Paul
Since Paul Roos.
Caretaker, yeah. No, I don't really.
There's probably, if there is one, there's someone listening right now screaming it at their phone, but I don't think there is.
Yeah, because we had like Reece Shaw, North Melbourne had a couple Blues, and well,
I'm just trying to think specific to caretaker. I can think of people that came into the job, obviously like Chris Scott, everyone knows, came in that first year and won a granny, but he had no affiliation to the Cats, did he? Like before they picked him. Like he would have been. He was somewhere else.
Well, the caretaker was only semi recently that they started like getting, because of this flow thing. They all started bloody doing well when they took over, and everyone was like, "We should keep the caretaker on."
Yeah,
but beware
of the
caretaker.
Beware
of the care.
I think unless you've been touting them, like when you hire them as an assistant or a senior assistant, it's pretty dangerous, because basically when you need a new coach, what you're saying is you need a freshen up around the whole club. So like unless you're going to fire everyone else other than the caretaker guy,
yep.
You sort of need that clean out, get that sugar pill, everyone up and about.
Oh, yeah.
New coach. Let's Oj.
Love me a sugar pill.
Yeah, it's interesting how... Yeah, mate, talk about coach dynamics.
That's what I was thinking.
All day. There's so many moving parts that it's hard to, you get rid of Leon Cameron, but it's like, well, how much, how will affect, there's so many moving parts, it's really hard to know unless you're really in there, but even then. But...
Also, just determining who is the best coach and who's just got the best list. Because, I think at the moment, Mitchell's coaching Hawthorn really well. Mm-hmm. At the start of the year, people were saying their list was, like a bottom 3, bottom 4 list. And they're playing well above that at the moment. I think the same can be said for Craig McRae at Collingwood. He's got them playing really competitive stuff. They played really well on Monday. I mean, their list is they've got stars on their list, but I mean, there's a bit of drop away after their sort of best 10. So how do you measure a good coach? I mean, Brad Scott took North Melbourne to 2 prelims with one of the most average lists I've ever seen over a 10-year period, but got the sack, never won a grand final. So people will say he's a failure. But then you look at Ross Lyon, he had the best list I think I've ever seen St Kilda to not win a premiership, and 2 grand final losses. But it's just interesting what people's metrics are for what a good coach is.
I think Moat said it perfect.
We have no response.
No, you said it all. Yeah, the only in terms of our Collingwood and Melbourne, Wiedemann was playing because Melbourne's forward line haven't been functioning. Wiedemann is playing in the VFL, and they went the 2 Browns, which I didn't mind.
They say 2 Browns don't make a white.
Yeah, but
I knew it was coming.
I love that yesterday. But Wiedemann, I just feel like he needs like the Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby's dad chucks water on him, and he's like, "Cops are coming. I got a kilo Canadian Bam Bam under the car. What's it gonna be? Time to be a man." And he needs that wake up call to say, slap in the face, a little bit like Marshall from Port got just in the zone a bit more and just started clunking those marks and kicking really straight even on the weekend. He kicked one from thing every time.
Great this year.
I mean, there's pressure on those spots at Melbourne. You got Ben Brown, McDonald, him. You can only play 2 out of those 3. So I think that should, if that's not firing you up, I'm not sure what can.
Then the only last thing on the agenda was a dream I had about Jack Ginnivan.
Oh, come on. Tell us the dream.
Really that funny.
Tell us the dream.
I was staying at his house, but he was out partying.
That makes so much sense.
But then I accidentally I put all these like old. He'd recently bought this like old vintage Tupperware type dishes, and I'd put them in the dishwasher.
Idiot.
And like I felt like they got really clean, but I felt like they'd maybe slightly damaged, and maybe I'd taken the vintageness out of them because I'd cleaned them so much.
Discoloration,
I took
probably.
like the vibe, even though they are supposed to get washed anyway.
True.
But that was about it.
It's funny you mentioned that because Moats' biggest fear is Tupperware.
Yeah, 100%, and especially old Tupperware.
Like the older, the bigger the fear.
That would have been a nightmare for me.
What's
the first part of the dream before it was clean?
What's the
basically my thing with Tupperware is it's like that opaque nature of it. You can see through it, but you sort of can't see through it. What else has been in this Tupperware container? Has there been guacamole? Has there been spaghetti bolognese?
Yep.
Why am I putting am I putting baklava in here after I've had spaghetti bolognese? Am I going to get a mouthful of tomato sauce that I haven't seen and washed out? Disgusting.
Ooh.
It's when it's
all those
scratched
flavours.
into.
Yes,
and
especially when the surface is striated.
It's so porous.
Yeah.
It's
Gotta chuck that
disgusting. Anyway,
I'm keeping it.
And that's it for Footy Talk.
Welcome to Coffee Talk.
Throw out your Tupperware.
Always go for wingspan shepherd. Just like a bird. I will keep you safe, my son. Care for you like a shepherd too.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please consider subscribing or giving it a like or a share or
doing something.
Just have a think about it.
All right. So my tweet this week was this one didn't get many likes.
Can't all get likes, mate.
But I liked it. I don't know if I wrote it properly, but
well, you should have got Moats to do his little, little Grammarly little.
So I was in the truck one Saturday, and I said, using the Maps app to get to my next skip delivery, right? So I use the Maps with my AirPods. I have one AirPod in, and Siri goes, turn right onto Rodeo Street, and then turn left onto Legend Avenue. And it sounded like Siri was giving me some positive banter.
Yeah,
like she was just like, turn right, Rodeo, turn to Legend Avenue. Like Legend.
Legend.
Rodeo is underrated in that combo as well.
Yes, that's the thing. Without the rodeo, that's nothing. It sets it up. It's it's your first rodeo. Take a rodeo over.
Legend
Avenue. like, when he brings a legend, like both of those are not real. Like Siri's just, I'm like, what a combo living there in Walkley Heights.
Nice.
Shout out.
Shout out to Nick Pope.
Hey, double shout out.
He does live there. All right. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, I just want to say I've had a really good time. I just love being in your company. Another week, another $1.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Check out. We did a little video. We watched the Queen's birthday and
that we did
last quarter, and we just put little highlights. It was amazing about.
It's actually like it's funny. I enjoyed it.
Definitely watch that and think about subscribing.
Yeah, do something algorithmically, as you guys would always say.
See you next week. Ciao.